Captain, an urgent message is coming in from Chancellor Larac of Phrygia.
On screen.
Captain Picard, a Romulan warbird has invaded our system. You promised to defend us. Please come as quickly as you can.
Set course for Phrygia. Warp 8.
Aye, sir.
Engage.
Warning. Entering Nebula. Entering Federation space.
Captain's log supplemental. We have arrived at Phrygia in response to a distress call from Chancellor Larac. Although he claims to have been attacked by the Romulans, we can find no evidence that any battle ever took place.
Sensors are picking up a vessel.
Yellow.
A Romulan warbird is on sensors. Locking weapons.
Fire.
Our phaser fire missed. Torpedo locked. We are being hailed.
Fire.
Savor your victory while you can, Captain. You will find it short-lived.
Fire.
The Romulan warbird has been destroyed.
Alert cancelled. Condition green.
I cannot begin to thank you for coming to our rescue. If I can help you in any way, please let me know.
I'd like to beam a team down to your planet and talk with you more directly.
You and your crew will be most welcome.
Thank you for allowing us to beam down.
I welcome you in the Lawgiver's name. Although the sects have refused to help, I am more than willing to assist you.
How did the Romulans manage to find you?
The Garidians and the Romulans are allies. The commander of that Garidian ship you met must have gone back and told them.
Why would the Romulans be interested in Phrygia?
At first, we thought they wanted to help their allies by forcing us to return to Garrod. But instead, they demanded information about the Chodak and the Unity device. We remained silent so they couldn't find us.
Your world appears to be intact. I trust there was no damage from the Romulan vessel.
The Romulans were not as courteous as you were, so we never let down our defenses. They were unable to penetrate our chameleon field, and they left without inflicting any damage.
The ancient Chodak have suddenly assumed great importance in galactic affairs. We were hoping you could tell us some more about them.
Our people have always been fascinated by the ruins found when our ancestors arrived here. Over the years, we have learned many things about the Chodak society and technology.
What do you know about Chodak technology?
We do not fully understand the principles behind it, but we've been able to make some of it function. The chameleon field that disguises our world, for example, is a Chodak invention.
What else have you discovered about Chodak technology?
They had an unusual way of navigating that seemed to be based on how long it took to travel between different points at a particular speed. Unfortunately, I don't know how they defined their basic units, so I can't be more specific.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Chodak technology?
They created special shielding materials which could block out any transporter beams we know of, yet their own transporters could pass through them easily.
What else have you discovered about Chodak technology?
They use devices similar to isolinear rods as keys to many of their machines. Here, let me give you one.
How does it work?
When this programmer is twisted around the rod's end, it can alter the rod's settings, making it a sort of all-purpose key. If you use the programmer properly, you can activate almost any Chodak machine or computer.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Chodak technology?
The crowning glory of their technology was something called the Unity device that made it possible for them to control their far-flung empire.
Do you have any more details about this Unity device?
I think it was a superweapon with almost unlimited powers. When the Chodak lost it somehow, their empire fell apart almost immediately.
What do you know about Chodak society?
Their empire spanned this quadrant, encompassing tens of thousands of star systems. It endured for 100,000 years. Then, 900,000 years ago, it disintegrated, almost overnight.
It's unusual for such an immense empire to last that long. What was the secret of their success?
They had a talent for administration. They had an entire planet called Alanor, from which they ruled their empire. The bureaucracy must have been colossal.
What else do you know about Chodak history?
We believe that the group which settled here and built these structures was not from the mainstream of Chodak society.
Why do you say that?
For one reason, this is a very small base. The structures the Chodak built could not have held more than a few thousand people. This could not have been a major colony.
And for another?
The Chodak settlers often refer to Alanor as the seat of evil, and frequently said that the Unity device, the Empire's chief means of control, had to be destroyed.
Perhaps the settlers here were similar to your own ancestors, fleeing an established society to pursue a different vision.
Perhaps, but I suspect the Chodak here played a far more active role. This outpost was only inhabited for a few decades, which coincided almost exactly with the end of the Empire as a whole.
These reasons are not strong grounds for believing the settlers here were rebels.
There are 1,000 more small clues, all pointing to the same conclusion. But there is one major mystery which could resolve the question completely.
What is this mystery?
A century ago, our scientists found a Chodak data crystal. We believe it contains the answers we seek, but unfortunately, the crystal is extremely old and fragile. Our equipment is not sophisticated enough to read it without destroying it.
Perhaps the Enterprise's computers could read your Chodak data crystal safely.
Very well. I will entrust the crystal to you. All I ask is that you share whatever you discover to satisfy our own curiosity.
If you'll excuse me, I have other duties to attend to. Perhaps we can talk again later.
As you wish. May the spirit of the lawgiver guide your path through the stars.
We've done all we can here. Beam us up. Chancellor Larak was most helpful. We now know what the Romulans are seeking.
Do you think the Romulans have really found the Unity device?
We know already if they had.
The device is that powerful?
I'm not sure, but without it, an empire which spanned this entire section of the galaxy disintegrated overnight.
What are your orders, Captain?
I should like to consider the